Evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Good evening, evening. It is Motivational Monday. Hey, everybody. It is Motivational Monday, and you know what we're here to do? It's motivate you. I am Janice Butler, author, speaker, and founder of Woman of Character Incorporated. And every Monday we go on this journey to motivate you and to empower you and to encourage you, to inspire you, to keep pushing and keep moving through the week, right? So we are here. We're here again today. And today we're going to be talking about confronting your past sets you free. When you confront your past, you literally get set free. So, uh, come on, let's go on this journey together. All right. Sorry, I got a phone call on one of these on Facebook. Uh, but anyway, today, again, we are going to be talking about confronting your past and how it's going to set you free. And, I just been doing a lot of thinking as I always do. And as things come and hit me, I just want to share them with you and let you know that we're on this journey together. It's not something that I've obtained, but we're doing this together because in the end, we will win if we just keep pushing, if we keep encouraging one another. And that's what Women of Character we're here to do, is to encourage you, to motivate you. That's why we do Motivational Monday, to help prayerfully give you something that will take you through your week, something that you can start your week off, that you can remember throughout your week, that will encourage you, that will help you keep pushing and keep moving forward. And so today, as I was thinking about the topic, confronting your past, so many things were just kind of going through my mind. And particularly as we are continue to be in this state of pandemic. We hear one day that the numbers are going up, the next day we hear they're coming down. More businesses are starting to open up, then some are starting to close back down. And people are still in their homes. Some are confined to their homes for one reason or another, whether it's by self-choice or it's just that they don't get out and do as much as they would like to. And sometimes for me, it's more about, it's not a whole lot to get out and do, like not like it used to be. So being confined and during this pandemic, it causes my mind, it can cause your mind to be all over the place, to be thinking all kinds of things. You begin sometimes to experience depression, anxiety, the frustration of being confined and only being able to go certain places when you've been used to getting out and doing what you want to do, right? um, it can cause panic. It can even cause you to lose trust in, say, our government, lose trust in just your environment and things that people, because we're a little leery when we get around a number of people, or we can be a little leery. Do they have the COVID? Do they, are they healthy? Am I going to get something? So it can cause so many um, thoughts. It can cause and provoke so many different emotions and feelings as we go throughout our everyday life, right? And so, and it can even cause hopelessness. And my prayer is that this word today, this motivation today will, if you're in that place where you're struggling with hopelessness or doubt or loneliness, anxiety, um, being able to confront your fears and confront your past will set you free. And what do I mean by that? Confronting your fears, confronting your past. One, just being able to acknowledge where you are right in this present moment, where you are mentally, where you are emotionally, where you are psychologically, where you are financially, because it might not always be a mind thing. It might be that your circumstances or your finances aren't where they want to be, where you are socially, where you are romantically or intimately, where you are with your dreams, where you are in your goals. Because, prior to 2020, everybody was setting goals and we were getting ready for 2020. Hindsight was going to be perfect vision. We were going to learn from those things, those mistakes, those situations that we were, in before, and we were going to do better. And then, boom, we were shut down. We couldn't do things. But how many of you know that we still have the ability and the wherewithal to be able to still reach our goals, reach our dreams? And sometimes we just have to push through that emotion, push through those thoughts and those feelings of that we might be experiencing, whether they're good or bad. But a lot of times in situations like this, we end up feeling down. We end up getting depressed or anxious about, our next step. What's next for us? Why not me? We look at everybody else and we see that they may be prospering or that they may be still going, seemingly getting better, or things are still working for them. Well, my first question is ask them what they are doing. Find out what it is that's motivating them, because I promise you there's something that's motivating that person to keep pushing, just like I'm here to motivate you to keep pushing, to keep going, to keep moving, because we still have 3.5 months left in this year, and a lot can get done. We had a praise report yesterday at church where the owner, we have been leasing our building, and the owner donated us the building. Wow. They gave us the building debt free. Who does that in a pandemic? Debt free. And so things can still happen for you. You can still reach your dream. You can still reach that goal. It's not too late. It is not too late. But the thing we have to do is confront our past, confront those feelings, address them. And when I say confront them, I'm talking about actually facing what it is that's got you stagnant, facing what it is that's got you at a standstill, facing what it is that may have you stuck. Let's face it. And we face it by acknowledging it, acknowledging it. And sometimes you have to just be able to speak it out of your mouth. A lot of times, I know for me, I hold a lot of things in, and then it's one of those things where I don't want to. I'm very careful about what I say. One, because death and life is in the power of the tongue, right? But I also know that holding things in doesn't help me either. And so I choose to change my words and make them, if I'm feeling something negative, or if I'm not feeling well, I might have a headache, or I might just not be feeling well. What I'll say is, I'm fighting through, or I don't take ownership of the thing that I might be dealing with. I might be in a period of loneliness, or wanting to be around my friends, wanting to spend time with my brothers who I love so dearly, who, that's who I'm used to, going and hanging out with and talking to and picking up the phone, and we just, just have a good time. Well, I haven't been able to do those things. And so I saw where there was a point where I was getting a little depressed about it. I actually was getting a little down, but I had to quickly say, Janice, it is what it is. This is how you're feeling. So, what can you do differently about that situation? Because my brothers are still here. I can still pick up the phone. We have all this technology where we can talk to each other face to face. We can see what's happening in the moment. So there are still options for me. And it's just a matter of, do I take those steps? It's just a matter of, do you take those steps? Do you weigh your options? And then do you use and take the opportunities that are right there in front of you? You can either sit back and wallow in what you don't have, what you haven't gotten, where you aren't, where you want to be, or you can say, you know what? Today I'm going to take the time and take the step to do something about it. And so when we confront our past, it sets us free. You begin to feel better. You begin to get a little lighter. There was a period in my life where I lacked self-esteem. I lacked trust. I didn't trust anybody because I'd been hurt so bad. My first husband, cheated on me, and left me and my son kind of to fend for ourselves. My third husband, you all know that story very well, ended up holding me hostage twice in a 3-week period, and being killed by the police. And I even go back as far as in the third grade. My boyfriend, I didn't want to go with him anymore. You know how we do, girls. I didn't want to go with him anymore. And on the way home, he jumped on me. Threw me down in the snow, and we were young, yes. But I think some of those things started me on a path of not feeling worth it, not feeling good enough, wondering what's wrong with me? Why don't I have what others have? Why can't I be in a healthy, normal, happy relationship? And even now, that I have those moments, because of course I desire to be in a relationship. And so I have to be very careful, and the word tells us to guard our heart. And if we keep our mind stayed on Christ, he'll keep us in perfect peace. That is so literal for me. I have to guard my heart. I have to keep my mind on things that are positive, things that are uplifting, because I could get into a very, very dark place if I don't. I've been there. I have been there where I have wanted to commit suicide. I've been there after, the second marriage failed. With 2 children, 2 small children, single, trying to provide for them, had them in private school, yet trying to, juggle money. I've been there, not wanting to live because I didn't get my dream of a happy relationship. I've been in that dark place. And so now I have to guard my heart. I have to guard my thoughts. I have to, when I recognize when I feel myself going backwards instead of forward. And then surrounding myself with girlfriends, my family, not being so embarrassed to speak my truth, to speak how I feel, to tell someone what I'm feeling at the time in the moment. I had to learn to trust again. Trust somebody who would not take what I say to them and use it against me. And that can be very detrimental to some. Um, but in that, I had to learn that not to bottle those things in. And I said all that because when you're one who doesn't trust, when you're someone who doesn't want to be hurt again, when you're somebody who has experienced pain that you know things that may have happened to you in your childhood, things that may have even happened to you in your adulthood, and you feel guilt and shame, there's a time, instead of suppressing that, I want to encourage you to find somebody that you can trust, somebody that you can go to, that third person who doesn't even know you, who won't put judgment out, who won't judge what your actions are or what you're doing, but who will love on you, who will encourage you. Um, it's confronting that fear, confronting those thoughts, facing where you are and acknowledging where you are right in that very moment. Because again, as you begin to confront it and deal with the root, address the root problem, because again we can layer that thing with, oh, this is that, or maybe I'm feeling like this because such and such happened, and not really deal with the real inner hurt or pain. And so we mask it, we put on this mask, or we don't want to address the real issue. And so we stay bound, we stay frustrated, we stay with those feelings of anxiety and depression and doubt and the lack of trust. We keep those things because that's where we're comfortable. Well, I want to challenge you today. Get out of your comfort zone. Let it go. Express to somebody how you're feeling in this very moment. And it's okay. It's okay to be where you are. Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't feel the way you feel. Prayerfully, that person is encouraging you to get up from where you are and know that there's something better. I want to read to you this scripture, Romans 8:28. And actually, I don't have all my devices are right here, but it talks about all things work together for the good to those who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. All things work together for your good. That hurt, that rejection, even that abuse, even that bad relationship, that job that you may have lost, the car that broke down, and that's the only thing that's going to keep you having an income. It's got to get you back and forth. All things work together for the good, because it's that job that you lost, it's that person that you let go of, or that person that let go of you. It's that those moments of feeling hopeless that gives you that drive to say, you know what? I deserve more. I'm worth it. I'm worth a good job. I'm worth having a good relationship. I'm worth being sound. I'm worth being happy. You're worth it. You are worth it, and it's there for you. It's a process that we're on. It's a journey that you're on. And as you go through the journey, as you keep moving forward, I promise you, it gets better. Life is not a sprint. Life is not a bed of roses. There are seasons that we go through. There's the fall, the cold, where you feel like you just can't handle it. There's that winter when it's dark and you may be by yourself, but the spring comes after that, where the light, the sunshine, the warmth comes. And then there's the summer where things are blossoming and you are blossoming. You're growing. You have to go through the seasons. You have to continue on the path that God has for you. And as you confront your past, that situation, that hurt, that rejection, you become free. And you might be saying, well, how do I confront it? Well, sometimes it's not always that you have to go back to that person that did you wrong. If you can, if you're strong enough, then good. Go back. Let them know what they did, how it affected you. Don't go back with the anger and the hurt and I'm going to get you. But go back with, this bothered me. Did you realize how this affected me? Because the going back and confronting that fear, that past, that abuse is not for them. It's for you. It's so that you can be free. It's so that you can release that thing and let it go. It just made me think about, people, when you have a balloon release, and when you're releasing a balloon, that thing, you're holding it in your hand and it's beautiful, it's pretty, or it could be scarred, it could be damaged, it could be ugly, dark. But when you release it and it takes flight and it goes and it goes and it goes, the wind catches it, you're no longer carrying that weight, that burden. The Lord has taken that burden from you, in a sense. He's taken it because you're covered. He's got you. He's now freeing you up so that you can go and do what God has designed and created for you to do. For you to get to the purpose, to the plan that He has specifically for you. Let it go. Release it. You might just be able to write a letter. That person that may have hurt you may be gone. If you can't pick up the phone or you don't want to pick up the phone and talk to them, write a letter. You don't necessarily have to send it. There is liberty and there's freedom in just expressing how you feel, putting it down on paper. There's something that's released from you. The burden of being able to express your thoughts and your feelings freely without anybody interrupting, anybody saying anything. It's so much freedom for you. Forgiveness even comes. You may not ever be able to hear, I'm sorry. You may not ever hear, I'm sorry. But the fact that you are able to express how whatever was done or said to you, how it made you feel, there's freedom in that. And when we let it go and leave it on that piece of paper, when we leave it, wherever it is. I had one time I preached a sermon about fresh fire. And for most people who know me, they know I love Survivor. And so at the end of each um, uh, broadcast, everybody goes to tribal council, right? And when you go to tribal council, everybody has fire. And so when you take that fire, and then they say that as long as you have fire, you're in the game. And I want to encourage you, as long as you have fire, you are in the game. But what we did that night was we took a piece of paper and we wrote down those things, those weights, those frustrations, those dark places that we were still holding on to, those disappointments that we were still holding on to. And we wrote them down and we threw them in this pit. And we all took a candle that we had each lit for our own personal fire, right? And we threw them in the fire. We threw our concerns, our hurts, our frustrations. We threw them in the fire and we watched them burn. And for some, there was so much freeing. Some people wept because as they saw the things that they were holding on to, as they saw it burn, they were actually releasing it from within. They were letting it go. They were getting rid of it out of their mind. And they were able to breathe because as long as they still had the fire in their hand, they realized, I'm still in the game. You are still in the game. If you are watching me now, you are still in the game. And so when you confront those fears, when you confront your past, however you do it, whether that's through writing, whether that's through a conversation, whether that's just through making a decision, I'm going to let it go because there's nothing else that I can do about it. Whether that's taking that fuel and saying, I'm going to turn it around for my good. Because what hurt you, the word says, Jeremiah 29:11, my favorite scripture, that God knows the plans and the purpose, the plans and the thoughts that he has for you, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you hope and to bring you to an expected end. Some versions say he wants to give you peace and he is not going to harm you. Those things were not made to destroy you. Although that may have been the intention of the person or the thing that did it to you, God's plan, he'll use that for your good. He uses that hurt, that pain, that situation to propel you to greatness, to push you to become the woman of character, the man of integrity that he created you to be. All things, everything is working for your good. And in that, it's setting you free. So I just want to encourage you today, Motivational Monday, confront your fear, confront your past, confront your pain, confront your disappointment, confront that anxiety, confront that hopelessness, address it, face it, and realize that it's not there to harm you. God's plan for it is not to harm you, but that thing will be the one thing or the several things that will push you to your destiny. Because you are worth it. You are worth it. And you have everything inside of you to get to that place that God has specifically for you. So sis, my brother, confront the issue. Don't let it linger any longer. You've got 3.5 more months left in this year to change the trajectory of your life. And it's up to you. It's up to you. You have a choice to make, and you have the ability and everything in you to do just that. Remember, it's one step at a time. It's not going to happen overnight. And if you need help, woman of character, we are here to help you, to help be a bridge, to help you on your path, on your journey, to love, to dream, to hope, to laugh again. Hey, Yolanda, we're here. There are others like Live Fearless Inc. They are here to help you on your journey. Because again, everything that you've been through is for your good. And I know you are like, but you don't know what I've been through. I promise you, it's for your good. I hate that it happened. We hate that it happened. If we could have changed it, we would. But we can take it and change it for our good, because it's there. It's going to make you stronger. It's going to build your spiritual muscles, your physical muscles, your mental and psychological muscles. And as you guard your heart, you will get to the place that God has for you. So confront the thing that you've been putting up, pushing aside, don't want to deal with. Because the truth is, until you confront it, you won't go any further. You can't, because where you're going, you can't take that old stuff. You can't take all that pain that you've been nursing and that you've been babying. You can't take it into that new place. There's no room. There's no room, because there's greatness waiting for you. There is greatness waiting for you. And you have to know that you are worth it. My shirt, woman of character, you are worth it. And so I pray that this has motivated you today to confront your past, confront the pain, so that you can be set free. And I'll end with this. Say what you see, and you will see what you say. When you change your words, once you change your words, your thinking will change. Your mind will begin to change. Your heart will begin to be open to new opportunities and new things. And your body is just going to follow. So have an amazing, amazing week. And remember that we are here for you. You can contact us on any of the social media platforms. We're on Facebook at Woman of Character Inc., and that's woman with an A. We're on Instagram at WMOF and the word character spelled out. And we're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button so that you know when the notifications come, when we're going to be coming on, at Janice E. Butler. So have an amazing week, and I pray that you keep moving, because there is greatness in you and there is greatness waiting for you. Bye.